Ordinary guys doing extraordinary things. The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with William Hunt, Savile Row, and Callaway.
Welcome to the Trilby Tour 2011. Another year of golfing drama to savour from the sport of legends and heroes. Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Tiger. Well, none of them played in this tour. In fact, these are my heroes.
Good luck, gentlemen. You on your game, gentlemen? You're not on the tee until you're reported to the starter.
It's Trilby Tour time once again as over 1,000 amateur golfers begin their quest to become the Trilby Tour champion of 2011. This year the tour heads to 11 venues across the UK and Ireland with just 100 places up for grabs to play at the 11th venue, the Buckinghamshire, for the international final. The top 10 from each region make the big show and the top 4 at each event make the playoff for a shot at the regional title. And as always on the Trilby Tour,
Winner takes all.
and what a place to start our journey here at the stunning Donington Grove Golf and Country Club in Berkshire. A fearsome golfing challenge awaits this week's field. 7,000 yards of exceptional golf on a course that has a front nine like a relief map of Marilyn Monroe and a back nine like a night out with Steve McQueen. Fantastic fun, but very dangerous down the closing stretch. On today's show, we'll find out who made top 10 to become the first qualifiers for this year's International Amateur Final and who finished top 4 for a shot at the Berkshire title. We'll have all the usual Trilby features like Shot of the Day. Plus our new feature, Rogues Gallery, golf's answer to Crime Watch, coming up at the end of the show. Do you know these men? And we'll have full highlights coverage with all the drama from the 3-hole playoff for this week's regional title. It's time to get to the action now, and the first ball struck on this year's Trilby Tour. Alex Faraday doing the honours and doing it with some style. Now, it's always good to see legendary Trilby Tourians coming back for another taste of Tour glory, but at Donington Grove, the tables were turned big time.
So, gentlemen, who have we got here?
Rob Wilkinson.
And?
Warren Bladen, the 2008 professional Trilby Tour champion.
Nice one. What brings you here today, Warren?
Carrying from a friend of mine, Rob Wilkinson here, who's from Coventry, the same place as me. Plays at Finham Golf Club, though a different one, but we've been friends for a long time. And he watched me play and win several years ago, and I said it's a great tournament to play in, and you should get yourself in it, and he did. And then, I don't know when it was, he asked me, he said, "Oh, make your caddy for me," and I'm here.
But Robert, it's all about you today, isn't it?
Well, hopefully it's all about me, but we'll see. Play my best. I can't do better than having him on my bag. So.
Well, it is about you, but if you hit a bad shot, I'll take the mick out of you like you do out of me.
That's it. So
you know,
all I can do is play my best, and he can tell me what to do, and it'll give me a good opportunity.
Unfortunately, it was an opportunity spurned in the end, but not without some good golf along the way. On the day though, 28 points wasn't quite good enough, and Rob sacked Warren with immediate effect, before the big man was able to quit, that is. And so to the qualifiers. Top 10, remember, for a place at the international final and a shot at the Trilby Tour title. Michael Tree from Worthing Golf Club made the most of his civilised 11:20 a.m. tee time, and the 6 handicappers squeezed 31 points out of the course for a place at the Bucks. Phil Pease was the early bird that got the worm, teeing off at 7:40 a.m. to become the first left-hander to make the final. The powerful 3 handicapper from the Kirkby Lonsdale Golf Club scored 17 points on the front 9, but felt Donington's sting in the tail, only taking 14 on the back 9 for another 31. Some golfers show up to the Trilby Tour and you just get the feeling that they fancy it. Off a -2 handicap, Donington Grove's very own Jerome Titlow became the lowest handicapper to compete on the amateur tour and used his local knowledge to make the top 10. Watch out for him at the final. But on his home track, he wasn't happy about missing out on a place in the playoff. That's right, Jerome. Fantastic effort, but only 32 points. Also on 32 points was a man that put the tee in tidy. Canonsbrook golfer Alan Smith plotted his way around the Donington track like a man with a plan. The 15 handicapper was on his way to the final, which is somewhere that our next golfer dreams of going. Barry Lavers is yet to make a final, and at Donington he was back for another day of Trilby pressure, courtesy of Mr. Hunt, of course.
Barry, you've had a few goes at this. You win quite a few club competitions, don't you? So what's different about the Trilby?
The Trilby Tour is far and away the best amateur golf tournament around by far, and I think that brings a certain amount of pressure, the cameras, stuff like that, but today it's going to be different.
How much did you pay him to say that?
Well, Barry, he actually said if you go easy on me, I'll say something nice. No money has changed hands, it must be stressed. But Barry is the kind of guy you do not play against. He will beat you. He will win every club championship. He will any tournament.
I am actually the club champion.
Exactly. He will win any tournament he's in because he's a winner. But I just love the fact that he comes in, just unravels every time.
This is going the wrong way, this interview. This is inevitable. This now is inevitable. He's setting me up now. In 4 hours' time, we're going to be standing here. I'm going to be in tears. But it's still going to be a great day. Cannot get a better golf day than this.
We wish you the best of luck, Barry.
Thank you very much. Cheers. William, come here.
He played well, but clearly Barry had his crystal ball out on the first tee. So close, but in the end, he missed out on the final by just a single point. Another cruel Trilby Tour blow for Mr. Lavers. Up next, one of the stars of 2010, James Vose, who took last year's championship of Norfolk at Sprouston Manor.
James, taking it back to last year, what are your memories?
The playoff, to be fair, and just having to play the 18th about 3 times before we finally got a result. But as I said last year, I loved it. Absolutely brilliant day. Yeah, definitely best golf comp I've played in by far.
You get recognised at all this year?
A little bit at the club. As soon, you know what clubs are like. As soon as one person's seen it, he tells everyone. I get a bit of stick off the guys that play within the team and different stuff. So, but I've been to a couple of external comps, and a few guys have seen me and said, "Oh, you're, James from the Trilby Tour," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I am. Yes, thank you."
Now officially, you're Mr. Norfolk, so you are a champion here playing.
No pressure.
What do you think of your chances?
Played well yesterday, so we'll just have to wait and see. Ask me again after I've played a few shots and see what I say.
Another man going so close to a place at the International Amateur Final. James tied for a place in the top 10 but missed out in the shootout. He'll be back at Sprouston Manor later in the year though to defend his title. Back to the qualifiers at Donington now, and a majestic round by 16 handicappers Stephen Rooney. The Orsic Golf Club man put himself into the top 10 with a share of 5th place, and as seems to happen on the Trilby Tour, a Rat Pack style swagger into the bargain. And last of the top 10 qualifiers outside the top 4 was big hitting Mark Perry. The 18 handicapper from the Ullersthorpe Golf Club bludgeoned his way to the final. Now then, time to sit back and relax. Here's Donington's general manager Chris Strong with some background on the opening tour venue of 2011.
The reputation of Donington Grove is really growing. There was a lot of investment from the Japanese in the early 90s. They invested a lot of money in the golf course. That investment expresses itself through the contours on the course, the tremendous quality of the greens, and the length of the course. It's 7,108 yards off the back tees, so it's truly a championship experience. We've developed the fishing side, We have wonderful trout fishing on the Lambourne, which is recognised to be probably the best chalk stream in the country. We have transformed the country house into an hotel, and we introduced last year clay pigeon shooting, which I have to say has become very, very popular. It's interesting that with the Savile Row link through William Hunt, William Brummel bought this house in 1760, and of course his son was Beau Brummel, who was the fashion guru to the Prince Regent, and he was responsible for these wonderful lakes that you see around the course, because being part of the court of King George, he would have travelled around and seen the wonderful Capability Brown Gardens and wished to have that on his own estate. I know that it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere down by the 18th, around with the marquee there and the bar and the restaurant. It really is fantastic. I mean, the whole place just looks like a professional tournament, probably even better than some of the professional tournaments I've been to. This is theatre, and we are very proud to be the stage for that theatre.
Time then for our star players to take the stage, and it was anything but amateur dramatics. Remember, top 4 gets you a place in the final, and on the day a shot at the regional title. Kenneth Cornwall Lee set about the course, and the 15 handicapper from the Royal Liverpool squeezed into the top 4 with 33 points. Finesse was the order of the day for Perfect Golf Club's Ross Nairn. His short game was in good nick, certainly good enough for the 14 handicapper to make the playoff with 34 points. To be or not to be the Trilby Tour regional champion, dear boy? That is the question. And how about this for dramatic tension? The defending Trilby Tour champion of Berkshire, Guy Dawson, was back. His abundance of natural golfing talent putting him in the playoff. Here's Dawes.
Had lots of handshakes when I arrived here this morning, and heard a few sort of whispers saying he's the guy that won the Berkshire one last year. So yeah, and people down at Bearwood Lakes have sort of pointed me out and come and introduce themselves. So yeah, it's been quite nice to be sort of semi-famous for a little while.
And on a serious note, you are here to defend your title.
Yeah, I hope so. So I've been playing well, and yeah, just try my best. See what happens today.
To date, nobody has ever defended a Trilby Tour title, but the Bearwood Lakes man gave himself a shot here at Donington. Round of the day, though, belonged to the Kingfisher Golf Centre's Nigel Blackford, who suffered the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, on the front 9 at least.
Played a very bad front 9. The nerves kicked in to start with, then I started relaxing, thinking I've lost. And I started relaxing a bit, then I started getting the game together then. And the putts started rolling in. And I think I one-putted 7 greens on the back 9. Just rolled a few putts, and then it got the rest of the game going, so gave me a bit of confidence, and then all the game started to come back. After about 12 or 13 holes, I could feel myself getting back into it. Played very well. 23 on the back, like 1 under gross. I bogeyed the 18th because I was 2 under gross up till then.
And how are you going to go into this playoff?
Nervous.
Very nervous, eh? Well, that'll make William happy. Nerves or not, Nigel Blackford tops the leaderboard at the end of regulation. Messrs Tree, Pease, Titlow, Smith, Rooney and Perry head for the Buckinghamshire and the International Amateur Final. Well done to them, but after the break, reputations and regulation scores go out the window as Kenneth Cornwall Lee, Ross Nairn, Guy Dawson and Nigel Blackford head into the 3-hole playoff for the Trilby Tour Championship of Berkshire. Stay with us.
The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with Callaway. The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with William Hunt, Savile Row.
Welcome back to event number 1 on this year's Trilby Tour from Donington Grove Golf and Country Club in Berkshire. It's nearly time to start the 3-hole playoff to find our first regional champion of the season. But before we do, here's Trilby Tour commentator Matt Woods to tell us more about the challenge the playoff contenders are going to face here on his home course.
Well, 15, 16, 18, good strong test of golf. So good score for those 3 holes. Anybody who's around par, 1 over par is a great score. 15th hole's par 3, it's measuring 170 yards, flag on that front left corner, it all feeds in from the bunker round to the flag, so if you can get it moving a little bit right to left on the wind, it's an easy flag to get close to. But again, if you do tweak it a little bit left, difficult up and down, in that front right bunker, again a very difficult trap shot from there to get close to the flag, so 3 on that hole's a great score.
And here come the playoff contenders, the top 4 golfers from regulation play, about to do battle over 3 holes in a winner-takes-all format for the Trilby Tour Championship of Berkshire. First up, here's top scorer for today, Nigel Blackford.
Nigel Blackford, 42, from Redditch, and I play for the Kingfisher Golf Centre. I've been playing golf since I was about 5. My hero is Lee Westwood. I support Man United. Any spare time I've got, I'll just use it up playing golf.
A man of few words, Nigel, but plenty of solid golf. And he just about overcame the nerves to get his tee shot away, which ended up as a reasonable marker to start this playoff.
Next on the tee, Mr. Nairn.
Next up, the sports coach from southwest London and the oldest player in this playoff.
My name's Ross Nairn. I'm 56 years of age. I'm a member of Perfect Golf Club in Woking. I support Manchester United. I'm a sports coach. I teach PE at schools, so I play quite a bit of tennis. Used to be a tennis coach, so I still like playing tennis. I work over in the Richmond, Twickenham and Teddington areas. I've been playing golf since I was about 8 years of age, so too many years to remember. Sevy's my great hero, and obviously we're all very upset, and my practice round the other day here, the flags were flying at half-mast, and it brought into reflection what a fantastic player he was and how revered he was across the world.
Excellent words from Ross, but now it was time for him to take his place in Trilby Tour history. Straight at the target as always, but just a touch short in the warm glow of the evening sun.
On the tee, Mr. Dawson.
Here at Donington Grove to defend his hard-earned title of 2010. It's been a great defence so far, but this is where the work really starts for the champion.
I'm Guy Dawson, I'm 29 years old, playing out Bearwood Lakes. I'm a builder by trade, so it's a nice change of scenery, being out during the week on the golf course, nice day off. I support Chelsea. I play a lot of cricket, so that's my main pastime on the weekends when the weather's good enough, and golf tends to kick in sort of spring and autumn and winter. Golf heroes, the timing of the occasion, you got to think of Sevy, you know, it's the obvious answer. The person I've always liked when he came on the scene was David Duval.
And no mean goal for himself, it was time for Guy to step into another Trilby Tour playoff. A crisp Dawson strike, but it was heading right. Right into the sand, that is.
Next on the tee, Mr. Cornwall Lee.
A great effort by the 15 handicapper to make this playoff show, but now it was time for Kenham to deliver.
Kenham Cornwall Lee, age 33, Royal Liverpool. Originally from Cheshire, now based in London, and took up golf when I was 18. Gave up my job in October last year to explore other avenues. So at the moment doing a bit of photography, and beyond that, love golf, love playing football, generally being out and about. Manchester United, William popular. The late Sevy, absolute legend of the game. In the modern day game, loving Lee Westwood. Fantastic.
Just the word Kenham was hoping to apply to his first playoff tee shot. But William's shout said it all. Not so much for left as way left into the area where elephants go to die here at Donington Grove. On with the action then, the pressure already showing on our 4 golfers as they leave the tee. And I'm delighted to say, joining me in the commentary box for this 3-hole playoff, it's Matt Woods, here to enjoy what should be some cracking Trilby Tour drama.
Thanks, Simon. Great to be here. I wish Lee could say the same. Pulled his tee shot into the left rough. It's got about 45 yards. The only thing in his favour is it's back into the wind, and he's got a slight backstop behind the flag, so needs to play this fairly aggressively. Just dragged that a little left again, and just got snagged up in the fringe rough there, so it's going to leave him an interesting third shot.
And another man that will be feeling the pressure right now, our defending champion, Guy Dawson.
Yeah, tough trap shot this, downhill, downwind, really only just needs to get this out, so he's got to play this very delicately, try and get a little bit of spin on the ball ideally. Now that may look a little poor, but it's just a tiny bit unlucky. Another yard there and that would have been fantastic. It's going to leave him a tougher shot now than the bunker shot.
Ross Nairn from 5 yards off the front of the green.
There's a man who listed Sevy as his hero. I'm surprised to see him use the putter here. Now, if he played a little chip shot, played most of it through the air, he'd have taken a lot of this break out of the putt. As you see there, it's swinging violently to the left. It's going to leave him a testy 8 or 9 footer for par. Obviously took the putter for a comfort level there. Just felt he could get it maybe a bit closer than maybe a chip shot.
Well, he's a man that doesn't have that option. This is a tricky one for Dawson, but if anyone's up to it, this man is the defending champion.
Yeah, and that experience of being in this playoff previously is really showing here, really taking his time, staying very composed. Just needs to nudge this onto the edge of the green, and that will release down that slope nicely.
Oh, it has released. Oh my goodness me. Oh, that's a great effort from Dawson, and nearly drama early doors on this first green, but he's got a bit of a knee knocker on the way back.
Yeah, even this late in the day, green's still running at a great pace.
Dawson, great reaction. He's got to play every hole perfectly in this playoff. Now this is a tough one.
Yeah, again, another man out with a putter. Obviously feels comfortable with that. I'm surprised not to see him just use a little wedge, just nudge it forward onto that fringe grass and let it release out. Again, a lot of swing here from left to right. He's played that beautifully. That's on a great line, great pace.
Oh, wonderful stuff.
Oh, there's a wry smile there. That's his get out of jail card. You're only allowed one in a 3-hole playoff.
Yes, and he's just used it and he knows it. Kenham Cornwall Lee. Well, a shake of the head, but he's got his par.
Yeah, missed the target by some 45 yards off the tee, but no pictures on a scorecard. There are here in the Trilby Tour, and that goes down as a quality 3.
Gotta love that. Kenham Cornwall Lee then. Still in this playoff with 2 to go. Nigel Blackford likes to get on with it, as we've seen in regulation play, and Matt, he's the man that's just ticking along nice and steady, no dramas at the first.
Yeah, looking comfortable there, little chip shot, getting back into the wind, just used that to his advantage, played it aggressively, and that's almost a cast iron 3.
Dawson waits patiently, but it's this man Ross Nairn to play next. A shame really, after a steady tee shot, that he finds himself in this position.
Yeah, back up the hill, just breaking fractionally off that left side, so he can afford to be aggressive. It's difficult to hit those putts hard enough, so quick down the slope. You really feel like you're smashing it back uphill. But just tidies up for a 4, no real damage done, still plenty of time.
So not exactly smash and grab from Nairn, but just 1 over after the first hole. Hopefully from his point of view the nerves will settle, or do they ever settle in a playoff?
Short answer, Simon, no, the nerves never settle. Now, Guy Dawson will have learnt a lot from Ross's putt, knows it's just outside left edge and needs to be firm. Really looking calm and controlled, taking his time, and beautifully executed. Keeps himself well in this playoff.
The look of a champion to Guy Dawson. Okay, 1 over after the first, but considering the trouble he was in the sand, that's tidy stuff from Guy Dawson. Now then, Nigel Blackford. Well, he's the man that's looked most relaxed. He's just gone about his business in a very steady way. Bit of a Sunday morning stroll for Nigel Blackford at the moment. Wonderful start for him, and he leaves this first hole level par, along with the other leader, Kenham Cornwall Lee. More Trilby Tour action coming right up after this break.
The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with Callaway. The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with William Hunt, Savile Row.
Welcome back to the Trilby Tour playoff for the Championship of Berkshire. It's an idyllic setting here at Donington Grove Golf and Country Club, but there's not much time for the playoff contenders to stop and smell the flowers. The second playoff hole to come. Here's Matt Woods again.
16th, good hole, strong par 4, dogleg right to left. Tee shot again down that right hand side, let the wind drift it back into play. From there you're hoping to leave yourself about 150 yards in. Slightly elevated green that falls off on the left hand side and the flag in that back left corner. So again, using the wind to your advantage should be easy to feed it in close to that flag. But again, if you miss it on the left, it's an almost impossible up and down from there. Big green, so you expect to see some lengthy putts in the playoff on that hole.
So putts from distance for a score. Are you sticking by that prediction?
Typical amateur mistake there from Simon, getting way ahead of himself. Let's worry about the tee shots first and the challenge these guys are facing. Strong wind off the right. That's really going to suit Nigel's shape. He's just going to move this a little right to left. As we saw on the first hole, looking very calm and very composed.
Yeah, not a lot to go wrong with that swing.
And just move that just down that left side. Just trundled past the 150 marker in that left semi, but that'll be fine from there. Good angle into the flag.
Now this man, the up and down king, Kenham Cornwall Lee, but he went way left off the first tee.
Yeah, and he'll be thinking about that here on the second. Wind off the right, as we said. That's going to create a little thought for him, and I fear that's left again. It's an anxious look, clip the tree, and he's going to find himself in tiger country down there. Really depends on what lie he pulls.
Yeah, that could be trouble. Right, Ross Nairn. I think we know what's going to happen here. Plenty of space, and this man is straight as a die off the tee.
Yeah, I wouldn't say length is his biggest advantage, but he's just going to be the kind of guy that's going to knock it down the middle, knock it on or around the green. Good hole this. The further up the fairway you move it, definitely the easier the second shot. But saying that, always easier from the middle of the fairway. And beautifully executed again.
Yes, thank you, Ross. That's, for once, making sure the commentary curse doesn't kick in. So, off the back tees, Nairn's going to have a tough second shot in. Now, Guy Dawson, what does he do here? Does he take a bit of risk? Does he try and throw down the gauntlet? The champion, looking in bullish form.
Yeah, you can just take a little bit of distance off this hole if you go tight down that left side. I think that's what he's done. And if he gets the right kick...
Oh, yes.
That's phenomenal.
Oh, he has clattered that tee shot. And Guy Dawson puts himself in pole position on the second playoff hole.
And he's left himself 95 yards in for his second shot, so that's a huge advantage, and that really has thrown it down to the other three, letting them know that he's still here. Now Ross Nairn, middle of the fairway, as we'd expect to see him. 175 into the flag, just using his little rescue club here. Going to enable him to flight the ball a bit better. Shouting at it to get up, just trying to fly that front right bunker. And slightly semi-rough, but plenty of green to work with. That shouldn't be too difficult a third shot.
Blackford as well, just left, just off the fairway. What's he got in his hand here?
Got 145 to the middle. He'll only be using an 8 iron. Just got to be careful of that lie that the ball's going to drag to the left. He'll be wary of that. Kind of reacted to the lie there and just pushed it right, but again, a good shot. Tough hole this. He'll be able to putt that. Got himself about 30-35 feet.
Well, he said you'd be surprised if anyone sticks it close to the flag, and Lee has a very similar demand. He's been a lucky boy. He's got a lie. Oh, he's done it again, I'm afraid, and he's smashed that left side once more, straight into the trees. And he's not advanced himself particularly far down this hole.
You need a little bit of luck to win a playoff, but I wonder how much he's got. Now, Dawson, after that phenomenal tee shot.
Well, it's picture perfect, isn't it, Matt?
Yep.
Shadows lengthening, you're in the playoff, you're the defending champion, you're in pole position. And just one more thing needs to happen to make it absolutely spot on.
Yeah, he just needs to pitch this in the middle. Wind down and off the right, it will feed back to that back flag. He's just been a little over aggressive there. And now he's left himself a very smelly chip shot. Long grass just over that back left corner. It's going to make that very interesting.
Dawson just spoilt the effect for us, I'm afraid, and for him. Now, the up and down king, we called him at the start of this hole. He's got to do it all again.
Yeah, long grass. Got to keep it low. Got to chase it up onto the green, which he's done beautifully. Just hang on in there. He's chipped in once from off the green. Can he do it again?
Well, ticked a few boxes, but a slightly disconsolate figure. And Matt, oh, that's what summer golf's all about, isn't it? Look at that.
Absolutely. Setting sun out there with a few of your closest friends, just playing for a few pounds.
And we're stuck in the commentary booth with each other. It's not fair, is it? Right then, Ross Nairn, plenty of green to work with.
Yeah, just got to be careful this doesn't roll off that back corner. Quite quick past the flag. I think he was just aware of that, just slightly tentative. For the first time the pressure's showing.
He's a tidy player. He's going to be frustrated with his short game at the moment. Now Dawson, look at that. He knows he's cost himself big time here, but he's got to get his head back into it.
Yeah, Lee back out with the putter. Worked for him successfully on the first playoff hole. Just going to feed off that left side. Not too bad.
Well, I think he'll be grateful, Matt, that everybody else isn't really turning it on at the moment and he's still in there.
Absolutely, nobody running away with this playoff yet. Now, we'll have gone to school on those last two shots. We'll definitely know this is coming off the left side. Doesn't like to take a lot of time. Expect to see one practice swinging in. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Just doing exactly what he needs to do.
Well done, Mr. Blackford. Watching, learning and constructing a good challenge at the moment on hole 2 of this playoff. Now for Dawson, this hasn't actually finished as bad as we initially thought.
But Blackford's chucking pressure at him from all angles at the moment, so he can't afford to be sloppy with that one.
Defending champion is crumbling. Few lines of tension etched in that face. Now for Ross Nairn, needs to tidy this up from here.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? 3-hole shootout, and par is a great score. Par is your friend here. This is an absolute must.
Oh no. You can see it slipping away with each shot, Ross Nairn. And a tough experience for some of these players. This is the first time they've ever experienced anything like this, from the time they drive through the gate to the time that, if they're fortunate enough, they have to suffer this in the playoff.
Yeah, I think suffer's the right word, but these guys will enjoy this when they look back on this. They've qualified for the final, something to look forward to later on in the year. There's another putt just slips by on that left edge for Kenham. His chance is slowly slipping away here.
Yeah, slim consolation at the moment, I think, for these guys, and Kenham Cornwall Lee knows he's in trouble, and this man's in a bit of trouble as well. Guy Dawson, this is another must-make putt, considering where Blackford is.
Yeah, absolutely. Blackford's really chucking down the gauntlet. And he's stepping up to the plate every time. Not making this easy for himself.
Oh, that is a Guy Dawson's strength. He's missed a chance there at playoff hole 2, but he's done what he's had to do to stay in contention. So well played to the defending champion.
Must putt here for Nairn. One of those knee janglers from 5 feet, just off the left edge. Got to be positive, strike it well. Oh, just catching the left edge. There's one of those moments. This felt like a good idea when I entered.
Knocked the stuffing out of him, hasn't it, Ross Nairn? Well, he gets a shot here, so it's not a disaster by any means. But I'm afraid this man has a chance to run away with it now.
Yeah, Blackford here for par. Does get a shot on this hole, so that'll be a net birdie. And there's absolutely no fuss and no wastage with this man. Just gets on with the job in hand. And other than trying to find his caddy there, doesn't look like anything's bothering him at all.
Blackford in control with 1 to play. More Trilby Tour playoff action here on Sky Sports after the break.
The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with Callaway. The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with William Hunt, Savile Row.
Welcome back. The magnificent 18th here at Donington Grove Golf and Country Club is the final playoff hole in this Trilby Tour Championship of Berkshire. The Kingfisher Golf Centre's Nigel Blackford leads at 1 under. Here's Matt Woods with the lowdown on the challenge ahead.
18, great tee shot visually. You've got 2 bunkers left and right out there at about 285, 290, so it's something for the players to move the ball off of or move the ball onto. That right hand side is pivotal, just gives you a great angle into that back left flag. But again, we've seen a lot of players in the crowd up here on the left. It's a dangerous place to be stood, and if you do tug your tee shot left, there's a tree about 100 yards out which completely blocks your view, so you're then having to start the next shot in the water and turn it back towards the middle of the green, so not one for the faint-hearted.
Here's a few potential challenges for our players on this 3rd playoff hole, the 18th here at Donington Grove. And the first man to the tee is the man that's made this playoff look relatively easy. Nigel Blackford has been in superb form and he hasn't put a foot wrong, Matt.
A lot you can learn from watching him. No messing about at all. Picks his shot, stands up and executes it. And another fine looking swing. Just drifting down the right side. That bunker, oh, he's flown it. My word. There's some adrenaline going through the veins there. That's gone absolutely miles. And that is position A1.
So Blackford with just the single shot in his head, he knew what his plan was, executed it well. I'm not sure that's the same case now for this man, Guy Dawson. He would have been hoping maybe for a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, he's got to be careful here. Doesn't want to do anything silly. Wants to make Blackford win it. Doesn't want to give it to him.
Well, he can't beat that tee shot, can he? So maybe just got to join him.
Yeah, a little bit behind him would be great. You know, get your second shot in first. Put him under some pressure. But definitely long enough to reach those far two cross bunkers. Fairly easy looking rhythm. May have just come out of that fraction. Just drifting down the right. Just sneaks past those trees. So depending on the lie, not too bad. Have a great angle into that back left flag position. Now, the crowd have moved from the left across to the right. They've seen who's on the tee.
Steady on, Matt. Oh, Kenham Cornwall Lee. He's had his problems off the tee, I'm afraid. Well, look at that. Plenty of room, even for the shape that he's got today.
But he's been a fantastic part of this playoff. Wonderful par on the first hole. He's given it 100% every shot.
Oh, he's done it again.
Left! I think the reaction from the tee tells a story. Nearly taken out our two lady ball spotters.
Well, Kenham hasn't seen it. Shake of the head confirms he's not happy, but I think the ball spotters have got it. Yes, they have. He might have escaped again, you know.
I'll tell you what, his shape's going to help him with his second shot there. He's going to need to move it around that tree right to left. Now, I'd expect this straight down the middle. The only thing he's got to be careful of is that front bunker. It's out there at about 235, 240. That's right in range for him.
There's another good solid shot from Ross, but he's going to be unlucky. Oh, and he's going to nestle right up against the front edge, I think.
Yeah, that's going to make it almost impossible to find the green in two.
Williams strolls along in the midst of this playoff. He lives every shot with these players, you know.
This whole playing back into the setting sun. Never easy hitting a shot into the sun.
Ross Nairn with another challenge.
Yeah, pretty brave shot here. He's in here with Rescue Club. This really is bringing that pond into play on that front right corner. Just backed out of it, trying to get it up quickly.
Nairn gets wet. He might be lucky. Might have just hung on there, but well, disagreement between player and caddy.
Caddy and player now having a discussion. Caddy's explaining to the player how he could have got in there with a little 7-iron and drawn it into the middle of the green. Now, Lee down the left. Going to have to use his natural shape here. Got to move this some 30 yards right to left through the air just to find the middle of the green. I'd say this is nigh on impossible. He's watching it keenly. Oh, that's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Well, he loves his drama. He loves his escape play. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenham Cornwall Houdini.
Absolutely. Be interesting watching him in the final in a few months' time. Now Dawson needs to put the pressure on. Great angle into the flag. Needs to get this inside 20 feet. As we said, needs to make Blackford win this event. Pretty good, but a lengthy birdie putt.
It's okay, 6.5, 7 out of 10, but it's not the sort of pressure that Guy Dawson was trying to create, so everything's still in Nigel Blackford's hands.
Yeah, 110 yards in here, nice wedge shot, high and soft.
Okay, check that.
Yeah, he didn't read the script there. It could work. Steady. Well, there's a wry smile again. He knows what's just gone on there. I just look down at the ground. Maybe nobody will notice. Oh no, we'll have another look. That is your classic head up. Nerves getting to him, I think, for the first time there.
Well, he's been so cool and calm up to that point, and He's left himself with a tricky one back. This playoff might not be over, you know. Ross Nairn then, he didn't find the water, so he has got a shot. But I'm afraid that's it for Ross Nairn in this playoff. Gave it his best effort, but on the day just couldn't quite come up with the goods.
Nigel Blackford looking calm and collected again, our champion-elect, unless of course we see a bit of Trilby Tour magic from Lee or Dawson.
Well, for Kenham Cornwall Lee, not today I'm afraid. His race is run, and it now comes down to just two men, Guy Dawson and this man, Nigel Blackford.
Yeah, ball very much in his court. Tough shot this though. Multitude of things that can go wrong. Once again, doesn't waste any time. I'll tell that's pretty good. I give him an 8 out of 10 from there. He's done exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, he'll take that, and under such pressure in this playoff, how about this for a manufactured shot?
Yeah, he's playing this like a bunker shot. Face way open, is going to get into the grass first and just pop it up. But like I say, the risk on that shot's phenomenal. I mean, that could have come out like a missile and gone back over the front of the green, but he has looked really calm and collected all day long.
Yeah, he's made some great decisions today, has Nigel. Our defending champion then, the champion of Berkshire on the Trilby Tour of 2010, Guy Dawson. It's all about this shot for him.
Yeah, 25 feet, just over a tiny ridge. It'll be quite quick, second part of the putt. But don't expect to see this short.
No, not to be. Guy Dawson knows it as well. He's been around Trilby Tour playoffs long enough to understand that for him, that is probably it. Something pretty shocking would have to happen from here to Nigel Blackford for anything other than him to be crowned champion. Kenham Cornwall Lee looks on, Guy Dawson looks on, both wondering what could have been. But for this man, Nigel Blackford, 2 from here for the title.
Yeah, Trilby's off to Nigel Blackford. This has been a masterclass on how to win a playoff final.
Oh, and he's done it in style. Nigel Blackford becomes our first Trilby Tour regional champion of 2011, taking down defending champion Guy Dawson in the process. So it's 1 down and 9 regional championships to go here on Sky Sports. Old Thorns in Hampshire next up as we head around the UK and Ireland in a quest to decide the draw for the Trilby Tour International Amateur Final at the Buckinghamshire. And don't forget, Monday nights 10 p.m. on Sky Sports is Trilby time. Let's hear from this week's winner.
When you came through the gate this morning, did you believe this was going to happen?
No, couldn't believe it. Well, after 8 holes I played terrible. I'd almost give it up. Then the putt started rolling up till the last one. I even just get easy, didn't I, to feel like I can't miss after a bit. Just putted very well, and that got me the rest of my game going.
Now, once you made it into the playoff, you said the nerves really kicked in there. Was it tough?
Yeah, very tough. Just I just nervous. So I try and block the cameras out and everything else, and just to get on with your shot, which is hard. But
what do you think of the course?
Beautiful, a very nice course. Good condition, very good condition. Nice.
Anyone you want to thank?
Me caddy, me missus is me caddy. That's about it, really. Just over the moon. Can't believe I've won. Just couldn't believe 120 golfers here today. Just couldn't believe I'd win it. I was hoping to get the top 10 and then to the next round. That would have been my aim. But to win it, I just can't. It's body ain't sunk in. Can't sink in. I'll win the lottery.
And we're not done just yet here at Donington Grove Golf and Country Club. First up, shot of the day. He still can't make a Trilby Tour final, but he can certainly hit a golf shot or two. Our shot of the day is this near hole-in-one from the Trilby Tour Enigma. That is Barry Lavers. And time now to visit our new Trilby feature, Rogues Gallery, or Golf's answer to Crime Watch. Those of you with a squeamish disposition should look away now. I bet none of you looked away, did you? The Trilby Tour would like it to be known that almost no caddies were hurt during the making of Rogues Gallery. Now, I've seen this look before. Odds on this guy throws the ball in the lake. Whoa, there it goes. Here's William.
The playoff always brings out the best of the best and the worst of the worst. I had my money on Guy. I've got to say, I met Guy last year and he's been a great champion. I like him a lot. He's a really nice bloke. But we've got a new champion, Nigel Blackford, first champion of the year. It's his first time, first win. And he reckons he's going to come back and knock a few more in. He quite fancies himself, that lad. Yeah. A brand new venue. We've got to applaud everyone down here, all the staff, members, family and friends of this place. Donington Grove, the organisation, the way that they made us feel, the preparation of the course itself, and it's a long course, this place, a long old track. But the greens are sensational. What a great track it's been today. Wonderful people, wonderful place. And here we go again, 2011. Come on.
Come on indeed. Next week on the Trilby Tour we head east to Old Thorns in Hampshire as another 120 amateur golfers compete for the next regional title, and the 10 places up for grabs at the International Amateur Final. That's all from Donington Grove. Congratulations once again to the new Trilby Tour champion of Berkshire, Nigel Blackford. For more information, go to www.williamhunttrilbytour.com. We'll see you next week.
Ordinary guys doing extraordinary things. The Trilby Tour is brought to you in association with William Hunt, Savile Row, and Callaway.